Okay, we have a little technical difficulties, but we are good. Okay, welcome to the Simple Way to Vibrant Health Show. Today we're going to talk about why I believe that eating less often is the best thing for your health and weight. Stavros Mastrogiannis, for those who don't know me, I'm a weight loss coach specializing in working with people who struggle with their weight and health, how to lose weight and improve their health, but without counting calories, points, giving up all their favorite foods, or spending all the free time in the gym. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe, and please help me spread the truth about weight loss and health by sharing this video. Okay, so let's get started. The reason I'm doing this video today is because every time I mention to people that on average I eat once a day, and sometimes I eat twice, they look at me like I have two heads, because it's been ingrained in us that we must eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and that with snacks in between. And if you go for too long without eating, your body's gonna go in starvation mode, and it's gonna eat up all our muscles, and we're gonna lose energy. And by the way, in 92, when I first got into the weight loss business, I used to teach the same stuff. As a matter of fact, I would say the first 6-7 years in my business, I used to teach the same thing to my clients, that you must eat breakfast. If you get up in the morning, you don't eat first thing, your metabolic rate is going to slow down, or that you need the breakfast for energy. And I remember the first time I came across the idea of eating less often was a book I read. It was called The Warrior Diet. And the writer of the book advocates to eat once a day, and it made a lot of sense. Actually, I can say it did not make sense the way he explained it, but to me it was such a far-fetched idea. I dismissed it right away, and I continued teaching what I had learned in school. But it did kind of made me start thinking that maybe something's wrong with what we're teaching. Because think about it. In 92, when I got into the weight loss business, obesity rate was 12.6%. And we're spending around $30 billion a year on weight loss products and services. Today, obesity rate is over 36, 37%, and we're spending over $65 billion a year on weight loss products and services. Isn't it pretty obvious whatever we're doing is not working? If all the popular ideas were working, can somebody explain to me why we're still losing the weight loss battle? We haven't even made a dent to it. We haven't even stopped from people becoming overweight. So to me, it became very obvious that there's something wrong. So anyway, and the other reason why I question what I learned in school is that I finally looked back at my own upbringing and realized, wait a minute, in Greece, adults did not eat breakfast. I remember people ate once or twice a day. And that kind of started me to start questioning what I had learned in school. But when you first go to school and when you graduate, you don't question your professor. You just assume everything that the professor tells you is true. You don't question it. And then it was like, who am I to question the professor? And that's why in the beginning, although the questions started coming up, I wasn't teaching it to my clients, because I just assumed there was something that I just didn't understand. But as I started doing more and more reading, and I started looking at my own upbringing and started looking at other healthy regions, again, I realized that healthy regions around the world, on average, eat once or twice a day. Like, especially breakfast. Nobody ate breakfast. So then I'm like, wait a minute. Then why are they still teaching in schools that we should be eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner? And unfortunately, that's where the money comes in. Think about this. 90% of the things you see on TV, somebody has paid for the information to be there. So the question is, who makes money if you're not eating? Nobody. Who makes money if you do eat? Well, the food industry, restaurants, a lot of people make money on you. So all those companies have interest in people eating more often. So those are the ones who are putting the information out there. Oh yeah, breakfast, most important meal of the day. You should be eating often, And it's unfortunate that has happened. And since nobody benefits from you not eating, nobody puts any advertisement that don't eat. Well, people, except people like me, that my goal is to help people lose weight and improve their health. And my income depends on my clients getting the best results. So since I'm not selling any food, Now, again, by the way, I have nothing against food companies that try to make a living too. The point I'm trying to make is that nobody makes money if you're not eating. So nobody has any interest or promoting information that gets people to stop eating. But anyways, let's look at the facts though. Number one, all the studies that support the idea of breakfast, again, are paid by cereal companies, at least the vast majority of them. And in the observational studies. So basically, they're not very good studies. Now, the other thing is, the fact is that prolonged periods without food makes your body more efficient at burning fat. Isn't that a good thing? It's a great thing, actually. Eating small meals throughout the day keeps your body in the sugar burning mode. And that means that basically your body is relying on sugar, and sugar, the body cannot store too much sugar. So as soon as the sugar runs out, it triggers hunger. But if you go for 16 hours or longer without food, the body makes a switch and becomes more efficient at burning fat. The problem is it cannot make the switch if you teasing it with a little snacks here and there, because every time you have a snack, insulin goes up. If insulin goes up, the body cannot access the body fat, because fat, all it is stored energy. By snacking nonstop, the body cannot access its stored energy. And again, don't take my word for it. Look it up. The doctor who discovered the benefits of autophagy won the Nobel Prize back in 2016. Again, this is not my ideas. But again, since nobody benefits, nobody's going to promote the fact that autophagy is such a great thing for your health. And the only way to get major autophagy, by the way, is to prolong periods without food, or fasting, if you want to call it. As a matter of fact, intermittent fasting, that's where all these benefits come from. So by eating 3 times a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, the body never goes into autophagy. Autophagy, by the way, it's when the body cleans itself. It gets rid of the toxins that accumulate from all the food that we're eating, and the air we breathe and the water we drink. Toxins constantly enter our system. Well, autophagy, it's the process where the body gets rid of the toxins that they've accumulated, also gets rid of mutated and dysfunctional cells, and also misfolded proteins, which is the root, one of the causes of a lot of the brain diseases like dementia and Parkinson's. So going for 16 hours or longer gets the body to do some house cleaning. If you're eating nonstop, the body will not do any house cleaning. So all the stuff accumulates in our system. And again, don't take my word for it. Look at healthy regions around the world. They have prolonged periods without food. It's part of the culture. And I know it goes completely against popular advice on weight loss. But again, I ask the question, if the popular advice were working, how do you explain the fact that the vast majority of people are losing the weight loss battle? And our nation and our society is getting more and more overweight and more unhealthy. It's time to rethink a lot of the popular advice. Is there real research behind it? Or is it some pseudoscience in order to promote a product? And in my 27 years in the weight loss business, I found a lot of the popular beliefs are not based on solid science, but they're based on special interest groups doing studies that heavily manipulated in order to show what they want people to believe. I mean, I can find studies to prove whatever I want. There was a study, I remember years ago, that 1 cigarette a day has absolutely no ill effects. Should you start smoking? Of course not. Now, the other interesting thing is that a lot of people say to me that if I skip my breakfast, I get a headache, I don't feel well. Yes, absolutely. It's a withdrawal. It's no different than an alcoholic not drinking their normal amount of alcohol. They're going to go through a withdrawal. Would you advise them to keep drinking so this way they can avoid the withdrawal? Of course not. It's the same thing with food. Unfortunately, we lost the ability to recognize true hunger. Since we're eating without ever stopping and asking ourselves, am I hungry? The body doesn't know even what to tell you anymore because you're eating. Have you ever stopped and thinking, am I truly hungry, or this is a craving? And anyway, so the bottom line is that, to me, is the evidence overwhelming that we should not be eating an average no more than twice. I mean, I teach my clients to try to eat no more than twice, one large meal, one small meal, like we used to have in Greece. And I mean, personally, I found myself not being hungry at all for lunch, because the one funny thing is, once your body becomes very efficient at burning fat, you have energy to spare. Since I don't eat breakfast or lunch, I don't have to worry about digesting anything. Remember, digestion takes a lot of energy. So if you're constantly eating throughout the day, that means a lot of your energy has to go towards digestion and not towards, the regular functions, whatever you're doing during the day. And since my body is running on the stored energy that I have, and I don't have to worry about digesting anything, I have plenty of energy. My workout's actually been better now than ever before, when I used to eat a lot more often. And the one recommendation, you cannot do a cold turkey. I don't expect anybody to do a cold turkey. So actually, if you want to learn more about how you can change your eating patterns to eating no more than twice, check out my online coaching program, Simple Way to Vibrant Health. I explain it step by step how to do it. So this way you don't avoid the headaches and avoid a lot of the discomfort that comes with doing something cold turkey. But once you get into the habit of eating less often, you won't believe the amount of energy you're going to have. And as a side effect, you save a lot of money, by the way, too. Anyway, I hope you found this video helpful. Don't forget to comment and share this video, and I will see you next Wednesday. Thank you.